Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this file and they sent me a photograph of what they're trying to do. They're making it evidently like a cigar ashtray. Hopefully not for use because it's made out of wood, but that's pretty cool. First thing I noticed right off the bat, and set your duplicate distance on 0, 0. I'm real particular about that, and we're going to actually have it come up in this video. I've selected 3 items, right? There are 48 items in that 3 items. I could tell it right off the bat by this line looks thicker. There are 45 ellipses there. That might have been his problem. We're going to take all and hit P and put center of the page. I'm not going to use this. He did use the shape tool to make that shape, and that's pretty cool because you can see the telltale red dot to make it, and that's a pretty good idea, but we're working with something that's a little bit different here. We need to set our nudge factor on like 12 inches because we need to make a duplicate of these lines, and I'm just going to nudge them out of the way. So now we're going to use these lines. I'm going to take that line and make it disappear. I'm going to take that line and make it yellow. I'm going to go up to Object, Order, Front of Page. So when I hit P and put this one in the center, our ashtray picture is not to scale. So we need to make it to scale so we can get some good measurements off of it. Our item is, he actually has them written down here as 8 3/8 inches big. So we're gonna, with the picture selected, that's pretty big idea, or need to be, because if you don't, when you start cropping it, everything will disappear, and just try to get it pretty close. That's probably close enough in crop. Now we can make our picture 8.375. Now our picture is to scale. We're going to hit P, put it in the center of the page, take our yellow thing, put it in the center of the page, and look at that. We're pretty much dead on. We look good, so we're good to go there. Now, what we're going to do is make some measurements. But it's hard to measure. Well, not really. We don't have to turn this. I was going to turn it, but we can make measurements going sideways. It's a little bit more precise. So if we go from that point to right there, we're at like 1.36. We're going to measure another one just in case. 1.36. So we're going to say it's 1.36. So write that down. I just used my pick tool and write 1.36. And voila. Now we need to really kind of figure out how much this round over is. Well, that doesn't really matter because we don't want to engrave on that spot anyway, so we're just going to say 1.36. Now we're going to take this out of the way, and we're going to select these two, and we're going to hit P, put it in the center of the page. If you're the one that did the engraving, and then you know how big that 6-sided polygon is, I would make a 6-sided polygon. Now I'm going to have to rotate it 30 degrees. And we're going to, you know what, let's hit P again. Let's go ahead and put this in the center of the page. And let's try to make our polygon the size of that. And you can see we're pretty close to the center. If we take our polygon, holding down the shift key and make it grow from the outside, we're a little bit off because the picture is not perpendicular or not straight up and down. So there's our 6-sided polygon. Now, I normally, and I'm going to do it, I am going to rotate this all. Say for some reason we're 180 degrees. I'm going to rotate it, should be able to just rotate it 30 degrees. Well, that's okay. That's all we need. Because I want to have something straight up and down. Now I'm going to take a 2-point line, and I'm going to hit P, put it in the center of the page. That's the dividing line right there. If you can see all these lines go to those points. We're going to Control D and make a duplicate and rotate it 60 degrees. Control D. Now we got our writing point. Now we just need to figure out how to measure and make this right. I am going to rotate the whole thing back to 0 now because our writing apparatus is in the front. We need to figure out how to make that 1.36 inch line. You know, how do we figure out that it's 1.36? Well, we can take that ellipse and turn it into a curve, go up to Windows, Dockers, Properties, hit the squiggly line, which is the curve line, and this is 26.314. 26.314. Probably don't even have to add the 4. Now, we need, let me see if my math will work. 360 divided by 26.314 is 13 point, you know what, that doesn't matter. Let's go 26.31 divided by 1.36, and we get 19.3. So we're going to go with 18, and we're going to go with 9. So what I'm building it into segments. So we're going to make this 9 degrees on both sides. So we're going to take that line and Control D and make a duplicate, and we're going to plus 9 degrees. We're going to take this one, make a duplicate, negative, take a negative 9 degrees. That should be our writing surface. Well, just a second, it will be. Take these 3, and if the lines were longer, it'd be a little bit easier to pick. You know, you can always take your Alt key and hold that, well, we just need to select them all. Hold down the Shift key and just select, and you'll know right here, 3 objects. We don't have 3 objects. Shift, we got 1 object, 2 object, 3 object. Control G to group them. Control D to duplicate them. Rotate them 60 degrees. Control D, and we don't really even have to do that. That should be our writing surface. This should be our gap. Now you could have a little bit of fudge room, and we could take the contour tool and fill that in and nudge it out of the way. We can left click, right click, go up to the effects and contour to the inside. That's too much fudge. Let's 0.1. We're just giving us some extra room. Go up to object, break the contour apart. Take our new object and nudge it back. That should be your writing area. We can actually take the lines away, but I'm going to leave them there for a second. We're going to Control D and make a duplicate. Rotate, move our rotation to the center of the page. Doesn't look like it is, but it is. And then Control D and make a duplicate and rotate it 60 degrees. That should be your writing surface. Now, you're going to have to play with it a little bit and put it in your laser. See, this even has, and I'm glad I did that because the edges have a round over too. And the inner part has a round over. So you might even go that 125. You know, you might even, you know, you contour, you know, like 0.05 again, just to give you a little leeway. I would actually do that. You know, you could, let's back up here. You could actually do this. Take, you know, instead of redrawing it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, group them together for a second, Control G, and see if we can't contour them all at the same time. And we did. And then select everything. It's not going to help us that much, and go to break all the objects apart. It's going to be hard to grab the outer part, so it might be better just to grab the inner ones and then take the outer ones away. And then this one I did a little differently. I did, for some reason I did that one separately. That should be your writing area. I'm thinking now, if you make everything a red hairline, and if you have a laser that has, and make sure this is a hairline, and if you have a laser that has a red dot pointer, leave your lid open and put it to 0 power and have it, you don't have to trace around the polygon, because you could, but have it trace around these spots and see if we're not right. And also then you can actually move your bowl a little bit one way or the other. I'm going to break this up into 2 videos and show you how to put initials in these spots. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching.